the recap of the Bears' last second 23-20 victory over the Houston Texans at Soldier Field on Sunday afternoon. I'm David Kaplan. Let me give you some opening thoughts on this football game, and then we'll go through the breakdown. I've got all the stats right here. We could talk about different parts of the game and of the club. But let's start with some opening thoughts. Justin Fields was horrific today. That's just a fact. He was terrible, and I liked his honesty after the game. If you haven't seen his post-game press conference, you can find it all over the internet. Football After Show on NBC Sports Chicago that we do. That'll be rerun later tonight. You can watch it there. We carried his comments in their entirety. He said, I played like, he wanted to use the word ass. He said, instead, I'll say trash. I was trash. He was. He was horrible. But part of it that gets the blame, the offensive line in pass protection, not run blocking. They were excellent. We'll get to that in a minute. In pass blocking, the offensive line was lousy. He was sacked 5 times. He was hit several others. The second interception is not as much on Justin. The first one, totally his fault. Just missed his receiver who was open. It was Cole Kmet. But the second one, go back and watch. He gets freaking blasted as he is releasing the football. I mean, he literally lets it go and boom, gets crushed. That one I'm not holding him as responsible for. But he missed throws, he missed reads, and he talked about it. I got to be better in every aspect of the game. The offensive line, pass protection. Offensive line, run blocking. Bears ran for 281 yards today. That is the most rushing yards by a Chicago Bears team since September 7 of 1984 when they beat the Denver Broncos 27-0. Walter Payton ran for 179 yards in that game, including a 72-yard touchdown right along the sideline. I was at that game. I remember it greatly, and it was a hell of a win. But let's get back to today. You've got to be honest with yourselves when you look at this team. They're 2-1. They're not a good football team. They don't have enough talent. I know everyone is going nuts at the end of the first half why they're not calling timeouts. Well, I'm sitting there with Lance Briggs, Dave Wanstead, and Alex Brown, and they're saying, 2 of them, Lance and Alex, not coach. Lance and Alex, do not use your timeouts. Get in the locker room. Fix and make adjustments. You can't, the way Justin's playing, the way the pass protection is, you can't take a chance on a strip sack leading to points for the Texans. So that's what 2 guys who played are saying. Yes, we had timeouts, all of it. Coach Wanstead felt they could have taken a couple of shots, maybe not deep down the field, not having to try and have Justin stand back there too long, but take a few shots and see if you could make a play and get at least a field goal out of it. So, it will be dissected all week long, but Eberflus said he did not handle that situation as well as he should have. There are people that agree with what he did, though, not using his timeouts and taking shots down the field because they cannot protect their quarterback. Just being honest. I got my concerns about Braxton Jones. Again, he's a 5th-round rookie trying to play left tackle against professional football players who are men, many of them. These guys are tough, and they make it very tough to block them one-on-one. There are also people asking, why don't we throw more passes? Do you want a Cleveland scenario from last year? Who are you blocking our 5 against their 5 with? Don't have enough good players yet where you've got receivers who can make plays. Byron Pringle out of the game. David Montgomery got hurt. He comes out of the game. It's not going to be a high-octane offense this year. It's just not. And this is not Luke Getsy's fault. This is not Matt Eberflus's fault. This points back to the previous regime not doing a good enough job in the draft. And now Ryan Poles has decided to pick a lane, not spend money in free agency, didn't have a first-round pick, and he's going to have to take some time He'll have a lot of cap space after this year to try and go out and fix all the holes on this roster. But those of you out there that thought Justin's just going to stand back there and operate in the pocket and have all this time to hit all these receivers, not this year. It's not going to happen. I'm not convinced any more than I was before the season started that they're going to win 6 football games. I'm not. They have got no ability to stretch the field and score points at this point in time. And heaven forbid, if they have any more injuries, they don't have any quality depth on the roster. The depth is one of the biggest problems. The lack of playmakers is number one. The lack of depth is right there as well. Now, who played well today? Khalil Herbert, 5 gold stars. He ran for over 150 yards. When David Montgomery went down with a leg injury and did not return, and they're saying he's day-to-day and they'll do more tests tomorrow. I mean, I hope he can come back and play next week. That would be great because he's a hell of a football player. Just not convinced. We'll find out. But Khalil Herbert had a career day, ran the heck out of the football, and run block-wise, they did a really good job for him, man. You've got to give credit where credit's due to some of those offensive linemen who maybe struggle in pass pro, but they did not struggle firing off the ball in run block situations. So 1 billion gold stars today to Khalil Herbert. Another guy who gets gold stars, Roquan Smith. He has had his moments, and Alex Brown talked about it on the postgame, that he's making 16 tackles today is a great thing, but Alex said he counted 8 of them that were down the field because he is not making plays enough at the line of scrimmage. He also had the tip off Angelo Blackson, ball up, he makes the catch, pick off, run the clock down, kick the field goal, get out of there with a 23-20 victory. Lance Briggs was more complimentary of what Roquan was able to do because Lance, being a retired Will linebacker, loves what he's seeing out of Roquan in terms of the intensity that he plays with and the plays that he did make. 16 tackles. I don't care if some of them are down the field. I thought he played a really good football game. In addition, Eddie Jackson, you're going to get a couple gold stars today, my man. Another interception, his 2nd of the season. I thought he played a really good football game. I thought he stuck his nose in there more than we saw last year. I think he's off to a really good start at redeeming himself after a rough couple of seasons. Go back to 18 when he was just a monster and he got his big contract. He was not good last year. He was not. And that's just a fact. But now that you got Jaquan Brisker, who could come up in run support and be that in-the-box, hard-hitting safety, Eddie Jackson is freewheeling out there and able to make plays, and he's doing what he does best. Up front, Bears did not get a ton of pressure on Davis Mills, got a little bit. As I said, Justin Fields was sacked 5 times and hit many, many more times. Let me go through a few of the stats here with you. Herbert was 20 carries for $157. He averaged 7.9 yards a carry, long of 52, scored 2 touchdowns. He also caught a couple passes for 12 yards. Fields ran 8 times for 47 yards. That's just under 6 yards a carry. His long was 29 yards. They ran twice with Equinemius St. Brown. He picked up 43 yards, 1 for 2 yards and 1 for 41. Tristan Ebner got 7 carries for 23, and then David Montgomery got 3 carries for 11 before he went out with knee and ankle issues. Did not return, nor did Byron Pringle, who left the stadium in a walking boot, I was told, and that is because of a calf injury. So they're trying to take the pressure off of his leg as he headed home. Cole Kmet, 2 catches for 40 yards today, a long of 24. He was only targeted, though, 3 times. Darnell Mooney was targeted 6 times in the game, caught 2 passes for 23 yards. St. Brown had a catch. Herbert had the 2 I talked about, and Pringle had 1 catch for 11 yards. Cairo Santos was 3 for 3 on field goals, 2 for 2 on extra points, made a 50-yarder and sailed that through, by 7-8 yards at least. So good to see the Bears have their kicking game right where they want it to be. And then they handled it at the end. They got the pick. Roquan made the play off the tip by Blackson. He gets a gold star for that play as well. So if you think this is a good team, I beg to differ. I don't think it's a good team. I don't think they're going to win a lot of football games. Part of that, I believe, is by design. I know there are people out there thrilled that they're 2-1. I'm more disappointed that their quarterback looks like crap. And that's a fact. Through 3 weeks, Justin Fields looks like horse shit. And I'm one of his biggest fans. I thought the night they drafted him was one of the most exciting things to happen in Chicago sports in a long, long time. Justin is not playing competent NFL football for a franchise-type quarterback. Now, is that because he gets hit all the time? Is that because he doesn't have enough blocking? Is that because he doesn't have very good wide receivers? We're going to find out. Cole Kmet, he's a guy. Nice kid. He tries hard blocking. Go back and watch the All-22 at the goal line last week against Green Bay, the 4th and inches out of the shotgun. Cole Kmet gets destroyed and gets pushed right into the guard that was pulling, and they both kind of fall into Justin, and the play blows up, and they called him short of the goal line, and the Bears lose. The other thing, how much did you see the Bears under center today? You did not see as much run out of the shotgun. And when they got down on the goal line, what did they do? They brought in another offensive lineman. They had 2 tight ends. They had a fullback, and they had Justin under center. And here we go. Get the ball to Herbert, find pay dirt, touchdown, Chicago. Is it old school? Yes. That's the only way they're going to win football games at this point. That is a fact, folks. If they're going to win football games, it's going to be mostly through the run by playing smash mouth, hat on a hat. I'm going to beat your ass across the line, and we're going to get the first down, the touchdown, whatever the case may be. If you're looking for vertical offense, you came to the wrong place. You're not going to see much of it this year. Hopefully off play action, but right now, they sit at 2-1, and their biggest concern has got to be number one, their quarterback. Bears win 23-20. The Gold Stars again to Khalil Herbert, Roquan Smith, Eddie Jackson, Cairo Santos. You're going to get Gold Star as well. And then Angelo Blackson, because you got the tip that gave the Bears the chance to kick the field goal to get the victory. Hope Roquan sends you a thank you card. Hey, make sure you check right there on the YouTube page. You can sign up. I'm giving away another 70-inch TV when we hit 15,000 subscribers, and we're already over 11. So that'll happen faster than you think. It's growing quickly. So right there on the YouTube channel, just click it. You can sign up right there. You don't have to bother sending me an email anymore. How about that? Have a great rest of your day. Have a great week. We'll have more on the channel on the Bears later in the week after I watch the All-22. Take that.